No fudge. Does anyone want some? Got nuts in it.
It's got nuts in it indeed. Hey, everybody. How's it going? We are back. 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time to another episode of the Power Up Podcast. It's a podcast that takes a look at what's happening in the old pop culture realm of video games, anime, TV shows, whatever suits our fancy. See what's happening, see what stuff is being tainted with the garbage that is woke and DEI, specifically in video games, but I mean, it's also happening all around. But we laugh at it. We try to find the good in things as well, the nostalgic feeling to kindle that dying flame, because it is indeed dying and we need to bring it back into a roaring inferno of what it was back in the day, because there was no problem with it back in the day. Everything was hunky-dory. The sky was the limit. You could try something and fail and not worry about it, and then you just move on. But alas, tourists have to come in and ruin everything. I thought I heard something up. But if you are enjoying the show, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. And you can check my other social media listed in the descriptions on YouTube and Rumble, or my link tree over on X if you are following me over there. That is where we are currently multi-streaming: Rumble, YouTube, and X. So I always am humbled and blessed that you guys take the time to hang out with me when you could be doing a bunch of other stuff. But we got a good chunk of stuff that I want to talk about today, ranging from the Silent Hill 2 remake, pretty much confirming in the sense of the concept art that indeed character designs were changed. We also got supposedly they are thinking of remastering the original God of War trilogy, the Greek saga, if you will, is what they're calling it. So we'll look into that and a plethora of other stuff. So let's hop into it, shall we? Pull up OBS here. Excuse me. All right, here we go. Well, this was over at Video Game Chronicle. I thought this was pretty entertaining here. Apparently, 8BitDo's retro Nintendo keyboards are big, bold, fun. It just caught my eye because they're just giant controllers that have been transformed into, or keyboards transformed into controllers. So although its official product description doesn't dare mention the word, there's no denying that 8BitDo's latest retro peripheral is very much the Nintendo keyboard. The brand's latest love letter to the classic days of gaming, the retro mechanical keyboard combines the 80s design elements of the Nintendo Entertainment System, or if you'd prefer, there's a second version based on the Japanese Famicom, the family computer, with the features of a modern PC peripheral. The keyboard is compatible with both PC and Android devices and features a variety of connectivity options, including Bluetooth, wireless, G.4, 2.4 GHZs via an included USB dongle and wired USB, as well as programmable buttons. Completing the retro meets modern aesthetic are its pleasingly clicky mechanical keys, which utilize Kali box switches with dye sublimation PBT keycaps. My goodness, that's quite a mouthful. It's a bold, sturdy design with keys that feel both satisfying to the touch but at the same time aren't as noisy or wobbly as other mechanical keyboards we tried, thanks to those firm switches, though for anyone looking for the quiet option, mechanical keys are not going to offer that. For gaming, we found the keys less responsive than modern Razer offerings, but for slower paced games, they do the job just fine, even when you're wired in. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But there's some pictures for you. What is, I don't even know what this is. Like, what is that for? Got your volume adjustment and all that stuff. I mean, that's pretty cool. So for its price, $100, it's a surprisingly high-quality, well-featured device. However, anyone considering this keyboard is almost certainly doing so for its aesthetic, and in that department, the retro mechanical keyboard is a delight to look at. The attention to detail is great, from the A and B, replacing FN and menu keys, to the Japanese characters included on the Famicom version. At 87 keys, the retro keyboard is slightly smaller than a full-size layout keyboard, missing only the number pad of a full-size peripheral. At the top of the device are its own function keys, including a power switch, wireless mode, and a command bind key, which makes it easy and convenient to pull out and use as a secondary keyboard, perhaps for an entertainment setup. So by far, the retro keyboard's most unique feature, however, is its included dual super button unit. This iPhone-sized peripheral is comprised of two oversized action buttons, again cutely labeled A and B, in tribute to Nintendo's 80s console, which can be programmed either with a button on the keyboard or with 8-bit do's included software. Oh, so I guess that's what that is. These can be used to activate various commands or shortcuts similar to a Stream Deck. However, in true Nintendo spirit, the real appeal is in the tangible fun they bring to otherwise simple software interaction. For example, we use them for copy and paste functions, allowing us to propel otherwise mundane PR statements into our Word docs with a tremendous slap of the oversized housing. It generally makes our day better. The Super Button unit comes in both NES and Famicom variants and is attached via an included 3.5mm cable jack. That's even the ability to attach up to 3 additional units, so in theory you could have a total of 8 giant buttons. However, beyond upping your Guitar Hero emulation performance, we can't think of how you'd realistically use all of them. Well, like, what about a soundboard or something? Ultimately, the 8-bit Do retro mechanical keyboard is a nostalgia item. I'll bet one of the surprisingly high quality, especially for its price. The looking for a serious gaming peripheral might want to look higher up the price scale, but as an extra wireless keyboard for your entertainment system or used for light work, this can make a fun addition to any Nintendo enthusiast setup. Well, there you go. I thought that was pretty cool. That was definitely interesting for sure to see that come about. So this is something that I saw as well coming for Tech for Gamers. Resident Evil 9 Metacritic page hints at one day, one PC launch. So I've heard some people talking about announcements for Resident Evil 9. Apparently has yet to be officially announced, but its Metacritic page has already gone live, and then it's only showing PS5 and Xbox Series X. And it could be supposedly skipping the PC launch on day one. So Resident Evil Village, also known as Resident Evil 8, was released in 2021. So it has been over 3 years, and Capcom has yet to officially announce the next title in the franchise. Thanks to industry insiders, we already know that Resident Evil 9 is in development, and Capcom has some huge plans for the title. Now, despite not being officially announced, the Metacritic page for the game has gone live. This indicates that Capcom is gearing up to announce the much anticipated game in the series. However, only PS5 and Xbox Series X are listed as the platforms, which means Capcom could be skipping PC for day one launch. And you may be asking yourself, why does it matter? Why? Why? According to the rumors, Resident Evil 9 is targeting a 2025 release window, so it should have a reveal this year to create even more hype and anticipation. So there's the screenshot right here. So obviously to be determined, there's your platforms and no pictures or anything. So as barren as possible, but already live. So as you can see in the image above, this game's review page is live, which means the announcement is expected soon. We might hear from Capcom soon enough regarding its upcoming survival horror game. That said, only the PS5, Xbox Series S are the featured platforms. And once again, meaning the game might not be released on PC and Series S on launch. And the Metacritic page for GTA 6 also shows the exact same thing, and we already know that it won't be launched on PC the same day it launches on console. So while it seems like an announcement is expected soon, PC fans might not be delighted with this news. Capcom might be skipping PC because there are rumors that Resident Evil 9 will feature an open world. Ooh. Is that an official picture? I don't know. No, what happened with the previous open world title from Capcom? Dragon's Dogma 2 was plagued with performance issues and was a multi-platform release, so the company might focus solely on consoles for better optimization and then release it later on the PC. However, nothing is confirmed yet, as the Metacritic page could be dated later, so it is better to take this information with a grain of salt. But if it is true, then PC fans are going to be devastated. So the game is expected to be the most ambitious Resident Evil game ever, and the developer expects to get over 90 score ratings, which seems doable if it nails the setting and, of course, the gameplay. And then what are your thoughts? I kind of want to see what is next game in the franchise is going to be Resident Evil 9, which is rumored to bring back Leon and Jill. Okay. So he should have a major role in the upcoming one. That said, a reliable leaker has recently revealed that the upcoming Resident Evil is going to be the most ambitious one. So, looks like a Discord image. The game is indeed Resident Evil 9, which is not in development hell, but it is the most ambitious game at the series at the moment. I can't say the exact release, only 2025 H2, and then you can expect more stuff. So that's Lunatic Ignis, who has been proven to be accurate many times in the past. That makes him a reliable leaker, but we still won't recommend we would recommend taking it with a grain of salt. What up, the Foreigner Belt? What's up, man? I love that name. Just wondering if there's any, nothing really new about Resident Evil 9, but hey, they're working on it, that's for sure. So one of the other big things that people have been talking about are Game Freak, and apparently a massive Pokemon data breach, and there's been some like insane stuff happening, I guess. So Game Freak acknowledges massive Pokemon data breach as employee info appears online. Current, former, and contract employees have all been affected. But I was seeing there was like some like weird fan fiction or something happening, or stuff that was like talking about X and Y. I don't know. But Pokemon developer Game Freak has acknowledged a massive data breach, which has seen thousands of confidential documents shared online related to the franchise and its employees. So in a statement published on Sunday, this comes from Video Game Chronicle, by the way. The company claimed that over 2,000 pieces of employee information have been stolen from the company and acknowledged unauthorized access by a third party, which it said has resulted in the personal information of current, former, and contract employees of the developer appearing online. Although content related to the company and the Pokemon franchise was also stolen and is being circulated online, however, this content isn't referenced in Game Freak's statement. According to the statement, full names, addresses, emails, phone numbers are part of the compromised data. Game Freak has said that it will contact affected employees, or affected, not infected, but affected employees where it can. Okay, sorry. Those who cannot be contacted individually due to retirement or other reasons will be notified in the announcement, and a contact person will be set up to respond to inquiries regarding this matter. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience and concerns this may have caused to all concerned, Game Freak said. Game Freak claims that the vulnerability that caused the issue has already been rebuilt. It's one of the 3 companies with a controlling stake in the Pokemon franchise. The developer has also been the primary developer of the main series of video game titles since they began in the 90s. Running in the 90s, woo! Game Freak is currently working on multiple games, including Pokemon Legends Z-A for Nintendo Switch, announced earlier this year. This game will be the second Pokemon Legends game following Arceus. I never even played Arceus. The thing is, do I want to? Look.
I am 30 or 40 years old and I do not need this.
I do not need this. But that's kind of what's happening with the Pokemon data breach. I've saw like some of the people I watch are like reading like some, I guess, info that was from X and Y and then some like weird fanfic or something. I thought that was going to be covered in here, but I guess not. It's more about the breach. There was a breach. Oh, I should have had that Frank Reynolds clip where he like pulls out the razor. No breaches on your end. Foreigner Belt says, I think they changed Angela to a trans woman, a biological male. It's not even the same character. That's not say it specifically, but the intent is clear in the character's redesign. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people were pointing that out, too, with, what was it? What's the latest one? Like Scarlet and Violet and Scarlet or something like that? Like, I don't even remember. I've kind of been going through the Pokemon games, like, at least... I played Sword and Shield. Other than that, I haven't really kept up on Pokemon. Well, there's that for you. Let's see. We've got some... Here we go. We got some Tomb Raider stuff. So everyone's talking about how Tomb Raider, like the Netflix series, is like garbage. Hot garbage. And so we'll go ahead and we'll check this out. This comes from Bounding into Comics. Netflix's Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft star Haley Atwell says animated series will feature a more complicated version of the title heroine. But why? Why does she need to be complicated? So as you can see, like almost as literally a piece of wood. Hardly any feminine features in this. A chin that's like as pointed as Jay Leno's. But according to the series' lead voice actor Haley Atwell, protagonist Lara Croft's humanity will be a major narrative focus on Netflix's Tomb Raider's The Legend of Lara Croft. And again, why? Didn't they try this with the reboot Tomb Raider, which, I mean, I played them all, and each one got progressively worse. And then afterwards, it was like, because I never played the OG, and then I started playing the OG, and I was like, yes, like, this is good. And I can see why a lot of people are upset with the reboots. But then it's like, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Wait a minute. Okay. I was just looking at her like trigger discipline, and I was like, I was gonna say like her finger is really, really long. She's got the man hands, I guess. Old man hands tried to rip my arm out of its socket, as Seinfeld said. Let's see. Anyway, so the latest voice to bring the franchise protagonist to life, Atwell provided this insight into the animated series direction during a recent interview given to Game Radar Plus's Bradley Russell. Speaking to how the series would tackle its main character, former Marvel Cinematic Universe star explained, director Meredith Lynn and creator Tasha Huo were really keen that we create a Lara that is recognizable as resilient, witty, with physical prowess, and curious. That means being a man physique. I see they say physical prowess, but they're talking like, yeah, make her more manly and curious, and of course that is sexuality curious. More complicated is DEI speak for more woke. Indeed, very true. But also someone that is a bit more complicated than that. That it's not always driven by the big, bold brushstrokes of heroism. The thing is these woke companies try this shit all the time, and it fails a lot of times. I say a lot of times, making it, because that, I mean, I guess that makes it sound like some of them succeeded, which maybe somewhere out there, but like, it just seems like they do this every fucking time, and everyone hates it. Acolyte tried doing it, and it's garbage. I mean, this had poor reception when it came out. Like, it's doing terrible. So maybe you should like just go back to what Lara Croft was, and that would be for starters, a woman, and a woman that has feminine features, and two, like, she just wants to go tomb raiding for the thrill of it. Like, you can have that. See, that's why 90s, even 80s, early 2000s, that's why everything back there was amazing, because you didn't need this retarded, deep, complicated reason. Like, they're bad just to be bad. They're good just to be good. Maybe throw in some stuff here and there for a little twist, but other than that, like, then of course they're trying to pull this like bow thing where the bow is her shtick. And it's like, well, she always used guns, but we all know that these people hate guns. So you gotta, it's like how they're bastardizing the Punisher, where he uses katanas now. It's like, ugh. Noting the fact that Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft picks up sometime after the events of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I can't even remember what Shadow of the Tomb Raider was about. I know we went to some Inca thing. There's some like weirdos, and I can't even remember what she was grabbing. Atwell then detailed how the series version of the famous heroine will be much more realistic than her digital analog. It's to do with some sort of mirroring back the culture consciousness of how we as there you go, right there. Cultural consciousness. Translation: we don't like how people see Lara Croft, so we got to do something. We got to do something to show how, like, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. As audience members, we want to see our heroes, said the actor. What seems to be more of a trend is seeing what makes them tick or seeing limitations in who they are. No, the trend should be this, but I can tell you a trend that's successful. Is the story good? I mean, that's a really good trend. You have that trend going, and your series might take off somewhere. But if you're just bastardizing a person with, instead of a simplistic, like, she's there to raid tombs, she's hot, she's sexy, she uses guns, that's it, and she needs to kill people, she will. That's what it should be. Who are they deciding what, quote, realistic is? See, this is the thing. You hit a good point, Foreigner Belt. We have the Foreigner Belt. Here's the thing. Who are they to decide what realistic is? Well, they're the ones in control, and they want to stay control. All of this is becoming just one gigantic circle jerk. See, they're not making it for... It's getting to the point where they're not even making it for the fans that they claim exist in whatever fandom they're bastardizing is. Now it's just a gigantic circle jerk for the people that are just working on it. I'm becoming more and more convinced that your remake video games, your headcanon, retarded fandom versions of universes that you might like Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that. It's getting to the point where now we're making this just so that at the casting party we can just pass around the final project, or pass out the final product and then, like, I don't know, have some debauchery like sex orgy or something, like, because it's clear they're not making it for the fans because they hate the fans. That's why they pull the whole, like, well, you're not a real fan because you're not believing in my ideology, which is retarded because it's like, well, you're just a fucking fake. You're like, you're the invader in the invasion of the body snatchers. You're not the real one. You're not the real, you for sure aren't the real fan. You don't give a shit about this. Ted Cruz Zodiac Killer says, I think you're just intimidated by a strong, independent woman. I am. Nothing frightens me more than seeing someone with calf muscles like this that could just crush my head like a watermelon. Ted Cruz says, especially intimidated by her feminine penis. Very, very true. I know. What is it? That one guy who's like, dating a trans or something doesn't make you gay. And it's like, oh, it very much does. I have all the powers of the 70s supergroup Foreigner, including Cold as Ice, Hot-Blooded, Head Games, and Double Vision. You're hot-blooded. Oh, crap. Who said this on Head Games? So as we, as audiences, develop more of an interest in wanting to see the humanity alongside these kinds of aspirational characters, then, as a creative, I want to be shown that and offer that up to the audience, she said. That does... Dude, what did I just say? One gigantic circle jerk. She literally just identified that they are the audience as we, the audience, develop more of an interest. I wanted to be showing that and offer that up to the audience. She literally just admitted that this is made for just the people who are making it. And they're like trying to project this sympathy towards, like, oh yeah, we know there's there's fans and the audience out there that want to see a more see more humanity alongside these I can't believe it. Like, is this an actual quote? She straight up just admitted in the same sentence that they are the audience and therefore this show is being made just for them. That's a good marketing ploy. Let's see if that works out for her. Oh, even IGN gave it a 5 out of 10? Oops. She would then further expand on the sentiment during a separate interview with Radio Times' Louise Griffin. Louise Griffin, telling the UK-based outlet, she's this adventurer who goes on these myth-fueled, perilous solo adventures. Solo adventures? Why does she have a team then? In the first games, it was just her and her butler. And she also has this background where although it's a huge privilege, there has been some... Oh my gosh. What huge privilege? Didn't, like, her parents abandoned her, so they, like, right? So she just like, fuck it, I'm dipping. I don't get it. Laura's emotionally struggling with things. No one asked to see that version. Where is this Lara coming from? Where is this version of Lara they think that people are asking that we want to see? Again, these are just like these retarded inceptions that they just applied. Like, is it because they saw like Christopher Nolan's Batman series and said, "Oh shit, we need to make something like that," and then just start slapping it onto all the different franchises and hope that something sticks? See, Lara is a trans woman now. She has pecs, not breasts. I know. Look at that shadow. Look at that pectoral shadow. Oh, but they had that one scene though of like filming her from behind, and you see a side boob there. She's feminine. It's like, well, then why are you hiding it? Okay, she's not even. Wait a. Doesn't it look like she's straight up just like wearing body armor? And then here they're like, oh no, it's like the skin tight shirt, except no boobs. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Okay, it picks up after the events of the Survivor trilogy. She's emotionally at her lowest point, and she's been abandoning her friends to embark on these solo adventures. But one of these adventures actually lead her back home, where she's having to confront who she really is, opposite her friends. What, she's gay? For example, Lara might have been driven by this belief that what she's doing is important and heroic and brave. But that's not what you get from when you play the original Tomb Raider. She's literally just raiding tombs for fun. But it might be her friends pointing out that she's also trying to probably run away from her feelings. Whoa, feelings. Whoa, feelings. She'd rather be jumping off cliffs and so she's having a midlife crisis. What does this series want to do? Like, they're claiming they're explaining what they're trying to make this series, but it just sounds retarded. She'd rather be jumping off cliffs and examining ancient artifacts. Well, bounding into comics, he spelled artifacts with an E. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be an I right here. Anyway, with evil spirits than she would dealing with the fact that she doesn't really like to be at a party. She's got anxiety, she concluded. I think that's charming and endearing, and it gives me an opportunity as an actor to bring that particular quality to her, which may be different from what we've seen before, but certainly in keeping with what we know her to be. Well, first of all, you guys don't have any clue what she is. So this line of what we know her to be is a straight up lie. Because if you did, you'd know how she was established from the original series. But because men made her, you got pissed. And it's like, nope, you can't have that. And then for those interested in checking out this more grounded Lara, it hit the platform on the 10th. And it's doing poorly. Look at that. She's a woman, see? See, we're showing a little bit of leg. I mean, honestly, if they're going to make her more, like, manly, then, like, give her muscles or something. Like, just go all in if you're going to do it, you know? But look at this. Like, nothing. I'm supposed to believe this person can, like, climb around and do all this shit when you're not even giving her, like, a developed bicep or something. Like, all of it is just fucking flat. Like, down to her boobs, just flat. And I'm supposed to sympathize and relate to this plank of wood? Oh my gosh. So dumb. Well, it would seem that they realized that the Netflix series was going to be terrible because they announced the Tomb Raiders 4 through 6 remaster. And Lara Croft is arriving for fun on Valentine's Day with an announcement of remasters of her iconic games coming to the next generation hardware with Tomb Raiders 4 through 6 remastered. However, the treasure hunter's greatest obstacle may not be a horrifying medieval phantom or spiked pit from a century-old tomb. No, it may just be a simple PlayStation 2 game, An entry so disastrous it brought the original series to an unplanned and abrupted end. Excuse me. However, it seems that this game is getting another chance after 2 decades to finally win the hearts of those original fans. They're giving her an unpleasant personality. She will be sneering and furrowing her brow a lot. So the remasters contains the 3 games in the series, The Last Revelation, Chronicles, and the highly discussed Angel of Darkness. While the first 2 games are seen by many fans as PlayStation classics, the latter game has an extensive history and is often seen as Lara's most disappointing entry. It was released at a time when the franchise was coming off of milestones. Angelina Jolie portrayed her in the movies. 8 years, Lara had cemented herself as one of gaming's most famous icons, and it proved that it was more than just a one-hit wonder and was now a widely recognizable franchise. With 5 successful games on the original PlayStation and a second film in development, calling for a next-generation Tomb Raider game was ready to be heard. So it was brought to the franchise's big launch in the PlayStation 2 to move on from the older, more blocky design and game mechanics of the past. The ambitious developers were hoping to create a game with more complex puzzles and bring a darker and more hard-edged approach to the game and world. This was going to be a very different kind of Lara Croft, and it would hopefully satisfy the first generation of Tomb Raider fans, just like the prior PS1 hits did. However, Angel of Darkness had a troubled development. Core Design, the original development studio behind it, partook in a 3-year quest to bring Lara Croft to the next generation. The development of this title was plagued with issues from inexperience, lack of leadership, and a fragmented development system. Despite all the development struggles, the game would finally be released 1 month before the then upcoming film Lara Croft Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life. However, the 3-year endeavor had far from paid off in the reception of many fans. Due to its high ambitions, many saw it as a dated and riddled with tech issue. And then there's some 2003 IGN game review, which I don't care about. Needless to say, the Angel of Darkness failed to compete with the high-end competition and industry expectations at the time, but much has changed in the well over 20 years since the game's launch in 2003. I would hope so. While many fans take to X and YouTube comment sections to share their excitement in getting to experience these 3 games again, Angel of Darkness included. And when the Angel of Darkness came out, focus of the many studios was to make games as cutting edge as possible while following the high standards of prior entries. Angel of Darkness failed to due to either for most consumers and resulted in Core Design, the developers of the original game, losing out on ever making another Tomb Raider again. As we know, the series got rebooted twice and would find some success in its later entries that departed from the original series. However, Tomb Raider as a franchise has recently been having a bit of what could be considered an identity crisis, with many original fans voicing concern and a desire for a more traditional Tomb Raider game. So despite the shortcomings, it was the last time a classic Tomb Raider was attempted. So now Aspyr, who did the first 3 games, are working on it again, so we know it's in good hands. They had to battle to stay relevant for the most cutting-edge game to viral, like say Grand Theft Auto 3. Aspyr's remaster has a very different road ahead of it. Excuse me. Ugh. Many of the game's target audiences have shifted from wanting the most realistic graphics possible and instead longed for the more fun spirit of the older Tomb Raider entries, as well as many video game franchises from that era. The more recent decision for the franchise in Lara as a character has found itself in the crosshairs of the culture war, with many longing for a return to less divisive games that are true to the series' roots. Then we got a picture here saying that Aspyr's remaster of the Angel of Darkness will give new and old fans a chance to experience a game closer to what the developers might have hoped for. There are already signs of the game seeing some quality of life improvements, as some eagle-eyed fans have pointed out from the game's trailer. Many games in recent years have seen remakes and remasters. Well, we all know that remakes throw in the for modern audience crap, so... But what is this? Angel Darkness will be fixed. The in-game achievements confirmed. They have already programmed back in the dual pistols. Yes, the game was so broken that even though Lara was heavily advertised with her trademark dual pistols, they weren't actually in the original 2003 game. All right, so that's what that says. Cool. So perhaps Angel of Darkness could be a trendsetter and the start of seeing more games that had ambitious plans but fell short have a second life. I would say that the Legend or the Shadow of the Colossus, the remake, should be every remake's like goal, because they built everything up from the ground up, but they didn't touch the original, and that's all you have to do. And then will we see more other remakes? See, that's all we have to do in terms of remakes. But instead, you get companies changing things that never needed to be changed in the first place. Like, for example, Silent Hill 2. Digital art book reveals major change in character designs. So the Silent Hill 2 remake was criticized on a major scale due to the tweaks in the character model. Excuse me. Many fans pointed out how the Bloober team ruined Maria and Angela's character design, which led to the game being labeled as woke. Well, it is woke. Not only the character design, but the changing of the story as well. Like, I watched Vera get to the Eddie part, and I was pissed off at it. Because they like changed some of the lines and stuff, which completely changes the dynamic with Eddie and James. But anyway, this hurts the game's reputation and, of course, sales. However, given the original game's greatness, the remake managed to live up to the legacy. The launch was pretty decent, but a new controversy has begun now. It seems that Bloober team made some major character design changes in the remake. And this, again, this is what I do not understand. Literally look at how they remade Shadow of the Colossus, the remake. They changed absolutely nothing, as far as I could tell, in the original. And I went back and read some stuff. And yeah, they just wanted to rebuild the game, assets, all the way from the ground up. Didn't change the story, updated the controls. And it was amazing. And I believe they even added some stuff that went along with the story. Now, I believe the original people worked on the remake, but still, that proves the point. The point is that this should not be hard to do. And they purposely, well, I say like it's hard as in like the technology and all that stuff, but it's not because it's hard. It's because they're here for an agenda. They're here to change something because something about the game from the past pissed them off. And they're hiding behind, like ratings and all that stuff. But no. So why it matters. Gamers like to see good-looking characters in video games, and a legendary game creator seems to agree with this take. Yeah, one of the Japanese guys says, I think, they say that they don't want to play as an ugly character. So fans don't like it when the developer forcefully makes the character ugly. Hypnotic, a YouTuber, recently uploaded a video detailing how the character designs in the digital art book differs from the remake. Now remember, there were people who then were trying to use the concept art from the original to justify Angela looking fat. Because, in the concept art she was fat. Well, the concept art that they released has her thinner. And yet they made her fat. So that whole argument just got shot to shit by these assholes. Or, it's, it's the classic which way Western man. So the first character he talks about is James, and the digital art book version doesn't look like the in-game one at all. Don't get us wrong, James looks pretty good in-game, but his actual artwork is even more impressive. However, as the YouTuber points out, I'll have to watch this video. As the YouTuber points out, the real problem is with Angela and Maria's character design. And remember, people complained to James that he looked too old, and so they made him younger again. So I need to see these pictures of what James looked like in the concept art. Because again, remember folks, people are trying to say that Angela should be fat like that because the OG concept art had it like that, supposedly had it like that. I've looked at it, debatable. The main thing is that she's supposed to be, I believe, like 25. You don't need to make her fat to make her look like 25. So anyway, YouTuber points out the real problem is with Angelina and Maria's character design. In the digital art book, Maria's character design is so good. She has that spooky vibe all over her that really complements the setting of the Silent Hill 2 remake. So it is hard to understand why the developers changed the design. It's because they don't care about the original. That's why. Because a lot of probably some woke people were working on it, and there's always going to be a dev self-insert in some way, shape, or form. Maybe that should be something that someone should do at some point, is start looking at like the development team, like if you can find one of those pictures, and just for shits and giggles, try to find like who the people are basing, who they're basing on, because they want to deny it, but we've seen some solid proof, in my opinion, that you look way too, what is that? Oh, sorry, there's a mosquito. Yeah. Dang it. There's a mosquito in my room, and I'm going to have to kill it. I don't know where it is. We'll get him, though. Anyway, so it's hard to understand why the developers changed the design regarding Angela's character model. The Bloober team did improve it, but it is still not close to the one in the art book. That design really portrays her as looking young and traumatized. For reference, Angela is 19. Oh, see, I'm not even close. I thought she was 25 in the original. Or wait, maybe it's Mary that was 25, because James is like 30. Anyway, and fans believe she doesn't look like a teenager in the game. Many believe that the character model from the digital art book is the perfect representation of Angela, which has caused some controversy. Fans argue that the developers intentionally made the character ugly for the modern audience. I would agree with that. Regardless of that, we think the Silent Hill 2 remake is an amazing game that definitely deserves to be Game of the Year contender. I disagree. Still, if Bloober team hasn't changed the character this much, the game might have attracted more players. See, that's what I said yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but that's what I said talking about this for a while. Imagine if they didn't do this stupid shit and they literally just rebuilt it from the ground up. Literally, Shadow of the Colossus won like critical acclaim. And I'm more than positive it won some awards. Imagine if you could have done that with Silent Hill 2. And I've watched a good chunk of playthrough of people playing it, and I'm sorry, but it's giving off an action game feel, which isn't what Silent Hill is all about. Like, you should be uneasy and you should be kind of paranoid that you have to fight these weirdo monsters. Like, you're pressured into moving along because you should not be staying in the one place. And one of the feelings I got while watching the remake is that it's like Resident Evil. Like, you're expected now to just take out the enemies when you come across them. Sometimes you don't need to. Now, me personally, I like that double tapping. Anybody in my way, I'll wipe them out. But that's really not what Silent Hill is about. Like, you shouldn't be wasting your bullets on fighting things because you just need to get to your destination. You need to go. And you should be feeling very uneasy that you're standing in the same spot because you have no idea what's going to be, walking out from the fog. So what do you guys think of the character design in the digital art book? Yeah, it's right here. Can we, maximize this? No, we can't. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit here. There you guys go. Look at that. This is perfect. Like this is it. Like this, why would you not use this? She looks young. She looks uneasy. She's not fat. And I know there's been mods that people have made her like thinner, like her face and stuff, which I do agree. I'm kind of getting tired of this female rounded form. It's either rounded or straight up man chin. And it's like, dude, just make them a woman, for heaven's sakes. Well, what about, you know, trans and all that? It's like, fuck off. With that being said, there's supposedly a rumor in terms of like remakes and remasters. From bounding into comics here. Rumor, original God of War Greek Saga series getting remaster treatment. Collection to hit shelves in 2025 for franchise's 20th anniversary. Now, they kind of already did this with the God of War Origin, I think, or God of War Collection, where it's 1 through 3. So I'm kind of wondering why they're doing this, but let's find out. According to a new rumor, in honor, well, I mean, I know why. It's because they put it on current console. Anyway, according to a new rumor, in honor of the franchise's 20th anniversary, Sony's Santa Monica is currently looking to remaster the original Greek myth-inspired God of War for modern hardware. World of the pre-Atreus era, Kratos' return was first brought to public attention by noted video game scooper... Oh, Lunatic Ignis again, better known online. Well, there's his X handle if you want to follow him. Speaking to his followers on October 10th, the scooper asserted, yes, the rumors are true. God of War Greek Saga Remastered, non-actual title, is in the works at Santa Monica Studios and Nixus Software. The development is finished, and they are just waiting for an announcement release. He added, releasing in 2025, with an announcement December-March. And then in a follow-up tweet, he further clarified, when I said Greek Saga, I mean all Greek Saga. Oh, so the PSPs? Looks like it. In doing so, suggesting that the collection will include God of War 2, God of War 3, the prequel God of War Ascension, and the portable-only titles God of War Ghost of Sparta and God of War Chains of Olympus. Like I said, they already did this for PlayStation 3 where you could get all this stuff. That's the version I've got. But who knows? Like, what if they change stuff? Seemingly set to release in 2025, in order to celebrate its 20th anniversary, this new supposed collection will bring Kratos' original mythos to modern hardware, presumably the PS5 and hopefully PC for the first time. And as fans wait for the official announcement for this collection from Sony or Santa Monica Studios, speculation has already begun to build surrounding just how these classic titles will look and play on modern hardware. Further, some fans have begun to express hope that the potential remaster will bring the visuals up to par in modern games and give players a number of quality of life improvements, such as smoother controls, quicker load times, and more, all without touching on either the Greek Saga's gameplay, camera, or narrative elements. Well, that's a big, big hope. Big hope they don't mess with anything. The original God of War was released in March 22nd, 2005. PlayStation 2 exclusive. David Jaffe, who's now a woke piece of shit. Third-person action game. I mean, this is just now a breakdown of kind of like what God of War is. It's based like, you know, your hack and slash combat compared to like Devil May Cry, Onimusha. Hey, I played that series, and The Prince of Persia. Also another good series. And then from 2005 to 2013, Kratos' Greek Saga delivered 7 games across. With every new game, the series improved on its previous installments, adding to the lore and Kratos as a character and giving more personality and depth to a story of a Spartan warrior out to take revenge against the Greek gods would have initially suggested. Notably, should this rumor hold true, this wouldn't be the first time God of War has entered the remaster machine. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. 2009. Yeah, God of War collections. That's what I have. Which presented players with remastered versions of God of War and God of War 2 featuring enhanced 1080p visuals and smoother 60 frame FPS gameplay. Then in 2011, the Origins Collection, I think that's what I've got, Origins Collection, arrived. The remaster PSP, it also came with like the PSP games, given full support for high definition video and even was the stereoscope 3D. And then next up was 2012's God of War sagas, wherein the 5 key elements from the Greek saga were bundled in one collection for the PS3. Oh, do I wait a minute. I think I actually might have sagas. I think I actually have sagas. I think I got the last one. And then God of War 3 Remaster came to the PS4, and doing so, marking the series' first entry to, full 1080p, improved frame rates, photo mode. While God of War has a history of remasters, none of these titles have yet come to the 9th generation, so hopefully more will be soon. Given the project's currently unconfirmed status, it's unknown just which specific God of War games it might include. However, all in all, the prospect of each a collection does present a unique opportunity to reintroduce pretty much people back to the Greek era games. And the hack and slash style, which I think is still amazing, and that's what some people should experience. And then word remains out whether it'll still be on PC or not. That's pretty much all that article is covered. That's pretty much all I have, so we can go ahead and wrap up the stream by seeing what games were released today. Threads of Fate was released. Ooh, your Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal version was released today. Apparently a Powerpuff Girls game if you into that. Ooh, Jack 2. Very nice. Oh, nice. Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne for PC. Mega Man Zero 2, Saints Row 2, Kirby's Epic Yarn, Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 for PC. Got Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2, Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus, Dragon Ball The Breakers. Eric was in that game. He was one of the voices. And then if we move over to Moby Games, which ones did Blabs miss today? She missed Jack 2, Fall of Max Payne for PC. Let's see, I believe she picked... I think she did Pokemon Gold and Silver. I want to say she might have picked Mega Man. And for sure she picked Dragon Ball The Breakers. I think that's what she... Oh, Blabs. Blabs. Let's see what other games that she missed. I'm just trying to see if there's any games that stand out for me. Ultimate Spider-Man for United Kingdom was out. Suffering Ties That Bind. I've heard of The Suffering, and then I think they released a sequel. I started playing The Suffering, and I think I got glitched out, so it sucked. So I was like, well, I don't really feel like replaying this anymore. Apparently Golden Axe Beast Rider for PlayStation 3. Saints Row 2 for PlayStation 3. Your rock band Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood album was a downloadable release. Your collector's limited edition of Uncharted 2 Among Thieves in Russia. Ooh, Steins Gate was released. I knew Steins Gate was one of those light novel games. Not seeing anything else that's catching my eye. 99. I was just curious. It's an iPhone game. Yeah. 99 Dead Pirates. Yar. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Well, there you go. That is what I have for you today. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. So tomorrow we'll return to gaming. We'll just have a good time with that. We're doing Blue Dragon and Dragon Ball Z Sparking. So don't miss that. Should be 8 p.m. Central Time. But with that, you guys have a good rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out. Take care. God bless. If you're new to the show, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Punch that thumbs up. And check out my other social media in the description below. Or you can follow me on X and you can check out my link tree there in my bio. But just help push that algorithm. I appreciate it. And yeah, catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless. Peace.